I do not know. I don't think so.
Ed Prince.
Yeah, I will call him.
Ed Prince. Might not even know.
Ed Prince, I emailed him and I didn't get a response, and maybe he's a phone person, so.
We could call him.
Text him real quick.
Hey,
I'll
we
call
got some
him
friends
tomorrow.
down here in the city hall. We want to talk to you. On his way. Did you text him? Text Joanne and say, Joanne, send Ed here.
You have a meeting tonight.
He runs in. We have to swear him in real quick. Y'all see the trees are going up? IT and then admin.
Beautiful. Everybody gets their own tree.
Yes, and they'll be up by Monday, all of them, all the department
So
trees.
Friday's tree trimming parties?
Next Thursday, I believe,
Oh.
we're having hot cocoa.
Where'd you get that big one?
They're doing a big tree at McLean Park
Allison?
tonight, right?
Tonight, yep, 6
You
o'clock.
got the big one.
No, Parks and Recreation did, but it came from a couple.
He's not gonna be at tonight's meeting.
Okay,
He wasn't sure if this was for him or not, so.
okay.
I will call him tomorrow.
I was about to say, I'm sorry I didn't reach out to him earlier today then, and
I should have called him after. I didn't even think about it.
Wednesday, but I didn't, just,
I'm gonna be here. So I'll save this for next meeting. Are you good to go? Roxanne, are y'all good to go? Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'd like to call to order the Planning Commission meeting for Tuesday, December 3, 2024. Item number 2 on our agenda is swearing-in ceremony, but we will not be having that this evening. Item number 3, roll call. Madam Secretary.
Okay. Chairman Cattouli,
Here.
Commissioner Bellamy,
Here.
Commissioner Edwards,
Here.
Commissioner Goszewski,
Present.
Commissioner Horton,
Present.
Commissioner Wise. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Item number 4, communications. We have our 2025 calendar that was distributed this morning at our workshop. And item number 5, approval of meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion that we approve the minutes for November the 12th, 2024.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, old business, item number 6. I'll turn it over to Suzanne.
yes, sir. Item number 6A is the major PDD amendment Z 24-27. This is a major amendment to the Gator Hole PDD, revising the signage at the newly proposed and located med spa right there on Second Avenue North, and they are requesting to postpone this till we get the additional information from that Planning Commission and staff requires.
Have any discussion on this item to postpone? Do I have a motion to postpone?
I make a motion that the major plan development district amendment Z 24-7 be postponed awaiting additional information.
And can I ask a question while that motion? When you have something like this that's postponed for multiple times, can you make a motion to postpone it and take it off the agenda until the applicant has requested to bring it back to the agenda? So you don't have to do this every time? Is that an option?
It's more like a legal question. Chris?
Could be postponed to the date certain. It doesn't necessarily have to be the next meeting. If, date that it could be postponed until.
Don't know. I will find out before the next meeting if it is postponed again, a date that they would like to continue it to.
How many times has it been postponed?
It's in September, I believe. Oh, August 20th was the first meeting.
Ty, were you thinking about maybe tabling it instead of postponing it?
No, sir. I should have asked that question before we had the motion on the table, but I just thought about, because it's been on every meeting I've been to, and we just keep pushing the
Yeah.
can along. I was just
Yeah.
saying, can we just take it off? Postpone it until the applicant has requested to put it back on the agenda.
That would be ideal.
If we could do that, that would be ideal.
The planning commission could do that,
We can.
yes. We would need a motion.
Has a motion on the floor, so
So
You wanna-
amend your motion.
I'd like to amend my motion that we postpone the Major Plan Development District Amendment Z 24-27 until we receive the information that we're waiting for.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
All right,
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, item 6B is a major PDD amendment Z 24-36 to the Parkway Group PDD. This is revising the preserve and specifically what was initially known as the build-to-rent section in the original proposal. We discussed this at length this morning in workshop. There are some notes in the packet that's posted online that we had not received the revisions that went out on Wednesday prior to our Thanksgiving holiday, but we did receive them in the interim, and the staff and the Planning Commission discussed everything this morning. In terms of staff review, the applicant has provided answers to all of the questions that staff was concerned about, locating the buildings, the walkways, the parking. The zoning administrator has reviewed the parking counts, and they are providing in excess of the required parking. They are still providing in excess of the required open space. And staff has no issue with the amendment. The amendment there's mainly three parts to the amendment. They are removing a previously entitled 10,000 square foot commercial section and replacing that with some additional units. And they are switching to a fee simple regime and utilizing a 20-foot alley with cars and pedestrians on the other side of the house. That's mainly the points for change.
Any discussion, comments, questions?
I think the workshop was very productive today, and a lot of the things that we looked at last time were resolved. I do have two questions. In looking at this later, it would seem that by eliminating no more than 6 units, we could get back, if you will, the acreage that was originally on the first application. Whether it's the orange ones, a couple of purple ones, whether it's a blue one, but just by eliminating no more, it would seem to me no more than 6, that would increase the area of the pocket parks, as they were described, and give us back that square footage of open space. The second concern or question I have is Commissioner Wise brought up significant concerns on November 12th, So I'm a little uncomfortable taking any action on this without her having the opportunity to review her concerns. So I would suggest we postpone it.
I would be hesitant to penalize the applicant for Commissioner Wise's absence at this previously scheduled meeting.
Okay? How about the question of eliminating a couple of units and getting back that 3/4 of an acre?
I don't, maybe, I'll let the applicant address that.
I also reviewed the plan after our meeting, and we're actually in excess of what was at the original meeting. So I understand if your recommendation is to remove some units, and I'm happy to look back at it. I just don't want to make a commitment at this point.
Okay.
But I am happy to
But you understand
revise
what
it.
I'm saying? If you just eliminated a unit or two on the edge of what we already have as pocket parks, that would gain back.
Well, I would say
that area.
we're actually already at where we were, but regardless, I think the request is really you'd like to see a little bit more green space than the 35% that we're providing. And I just need to look back at it and.
Well, I'm looking at the acreage that we had versus percentages.
Sure, I guess, percentages, a percentage acreage that we purchased, right? So there's,
I just think
Some
it
just
would
math to be done
look
there.
nice to extend some of these pocket parks.
yeah, I just need to look at the math and, on paper. It's just hard for me to do, on the fly here,
Okay.
but thank you.
That would also give us the opportunity to maybe plant some more trees.
We will certainly plant more trees than we're currently showing.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Suzanne, if we went forward and we accepted their thing and asked, and they agreed to do some more trees, how would we craft that? Just pass that along as a recommendation to the city council that we add more trees? But I think we should give them a little bit more definition than just add more trees. So, we talked about an idea of coming up with maybe an idea of a number of trees that we would typically, and the caliber that we would typically replace with would be about what, a 4-inch?
Well, in our street trees manual, we require a 2-inch tree because they go into less shock and they can get to the size of a 4-inch tree quicker than a 4-inch tree that's transplanted. It's a very good size for a tree to be planted. It's also more readily available in nursery stock. I think perhaps a number of caliper inches would just total, and the developer could perhaps
I think that
choose
would-
how they.
Would be a good idea. And, with the idea that say we said, okay, we're going to add, the idea is, with what we've been presented today, is that we're increasing approximately 44 units, as we asked them to put 2 more trees per those, so it'd be 88 more trees. What would you guys feel about?
Is there a current landscape plan for this PDD? There's got to be.
No, we are not at that level of design. This is really the bird's eye conceptual level. But if you put that in the amendment and the developer added that to the amendment, we could follow through as it goes through the construction phases.
It would be, there is a number certain that they have to do in terms of what we would already be requiring, and we'd just be saying, okay, can you give us another 88?
I would say, in addition to the street trees that are shown on the current version, you would say however many inches.
So, yeah, that would be 88, be about 150 if you took 88 trees and did 2 inches each.
I have no problem putting a hard number in. I just have no idea what 88 trees looks like. Like, it could be not enough or it could be way too many. Do you have any idea? Like, I can't even picture what 88 looks like.
Well, you got a drawing here, and you kind of show where you got trees right now. And you got this whole area over here that's up to the northwest corner of the property bordering the lake, and we don't have any trees in there. We can put trees.
That area will be undisturbed. If we're talking about the same. This area?
No, that's gonna be a water feature right there. I'm talking about the area that you're gonna have to, you know, this piece right here. This piece right here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You've got this, you've got all along this border in here, and, you've got an area over here that you can put trees. You can put more trees in both these pocket parks. You got no trees in this area. I kind of looked at it, and I think you can easily get that many, many trees in there. And of course, this border along your rear, you don't show any trees back there, and I would suggest you probably put some in there in that area between, along 22,
Yeah,
31.
yeah. Again, I'm fine with that. I have no idea what that even, looks like, 88 trees. I will have the engineer. I can't imagine that. It probably fits, yeah.
I think you,
Okay, all right.
and we're not trying to be abusive to you. We're just suggesting that, but we have to put something in there to craft something to make it.
Agreed. Okay.
Is that reasonable? Things reasonable?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy to put it on there. I just have no idea what 88 trees looks like. But
Well, the other thing is, I guess,
Yeah, in this area. I
okay,
think with
we
the buffer, you could do some evergreen trees.
I think so.
I think it would be.
All right. Suzanne is recommending 88 seems fine. So we're going to go with 88.
guys,
If, let's say that we say 88 and it's either really, really excessive or not enough, would that be a minor amendment if he came back? So it would be handled at staff level? Yeah, okay. So we, recommendation of.
recommendation.
Well,
Okay.
I believe that there's going to have to be some landscaping in the area between 31 and the project.
Agreed.
There's definitely going to have to be something like that.
Agreed.
Which would not be a part of these 88 trees. That would be in excess of it.
Well, we could mix these 88 trees in with whatever shrubs would typically go there.
Because something else is going to have to happen along 31.
Yeah. Typically, I think it would be more of a shrub, but yeah, but again, we could run the trees, mix them in with the two types of landscaping, if you will, if that works.
That's good.
Yeah. You know my position this morning. I'm disappointed in the density that we have there. It's very dense. And I'm just sorry to see something like this go in. We've already got many communities that are either being built or in the pipeline that seem to be pushing a very high density. And hearing what the community is saying, they're getting tired of seeing dense communities being proposed and approved. So I'm going to stand by my position, so whatever the vote comes out to be, but mine's going to be negative.
Sure.
Any more comments by the commissioners? Do we have any comments from the public? No. All right, then a call for a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Oh,
do we have a motion?
I thought we did. Okay. Do we have a motion? Sorry about that, jumping the gun.
I'll make a motion that we send forth a recommendation of approval of the major plan development district amendment to the Parkway PDD Z-24-36 with the caveat that we are recommending approximately 88 trees be added to the landscape plan when that comes.
Okay, I guess we do a little public comment and get on with it.
Have any more comments? No one? All right, call for a vote. All those in favor?
We do some public input if somebody wants to.
Yeah, he opened it up for public comment. He did.
I did.
Okay, you did ask, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
didn't hear that.
Okay.
All right,
We had a motion second, I think.
Yeah. Tom second. Right. And I'm trying to call for a vote again. Third time's a charm. Let's go. All those in favor, say aye.
aye.
All those opposed? Aye. Nay, sorry. One nay. All right. So,
Item 5C is the first public hearing regarding the amendment we just discussed associated with KZ 24-36. This is the amendment to an already in place development agreement for the preserve between the developer and the city. And the amendment is to Section 6 and Section 8. Section 6 changes the density to a maximum of 826 residential dwelling units. And also, as I think we discussed this morning, and the developer agreed to changing the trigger for the amenity area only in the paired villa section to be the 85th percent of CO. The other two sections would stay at 50% from our discussion this morning. And this is just a public hearing, no votes taken.
Has the language been changed
Not yet.
to reflect 50% of the multifamily, 50% of build to rent, and 85% of paired villas?
It has not yet been changed, but staff will monitor that before it gets to city council.
We did note that Section 4 amendment set to Section 8, that number of units, we're going to change that too.
Fix that typo.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Horton, can you say that again? I couldn't understand.
Sorry, we were also going to change the 826 RDUs to 848 under Section 4. It says amendment to Section 8.
Yeah.
Thank you.
all right. Do we have any public comment? This is a hearing, open hearing. Anyone from the public?
No.
So I keep looking at you.
Keep waiting.
Okay. I guess we can close the public hearing part of this request and move on to new business.
Yes, sir. Item 7A is Land Development Regulations Text Amendment STX 24-2. This is an amendment to the LDRs, creating a sketch plan step for major subdivisions and in-common residential developments to address tree removal. We discussed this at length this morning in workshop. The current approval process for major subdivisions and those site-specific development plans that are for the in-common developments involves a review by TRC. Planning Commission approves the major subs. Our existing tree requirements, the tree preservation, it says in the first sentence of, I believe, of the tree preservation ordinance, it says it is the intent of this article to promote the health, safety, and welfare of the general public through preservation and protection of existing trees that have matured to a size of 8 inches caliper by requiring retention and/or replacement. We discussed all the issues with the current process, with the overlapping authorities that are being requested to approve removal. And we discussed the proposed change to the ordinance where we add a sketch plan step incorporated into the approval process for these major subdivisions and site-specific development plans that requires developers to submit a conceptual plan that would include a tree survey identifying all those trees that are greater than 8-inch, the hardscape elements, major infrastructure, and the conceptual building footprint areas. That would go to Planning Commission to enhance the tree preservation outcomes for the city and allow the developer not to spend considerable money through, for the final design, construction drawings that are required at the preliminary plat stage, but it would give input on the earlier conceptual review of these developments with the trees as they are on site.
It's not that they're doing anything new, they have to do it anyway, but we're just asking them to do it sooner
Right, exactly.
in the process. Any discussion on this?
Could I, Mr. Hughes, you being a developer sitting in the crowd, could you kind of, were you able to understand what she was saying? What are your thought process on adding that layer as a developer?
So what we're asking is to get a tree survey earlier on, but not have to go through full engineering and kind of layer those two pieces together. I think it's very helpful. A few times through this process, I think what has been asked has been a level of detail that, we're at risk, right, before we have approvals. So, you're spending, and you want to make sure what the path you're going down works before you get your full design. And it sounds like this would help address that concern.
That's what I thought, and I reached out to 2 developers today just to get their thought, and neither one of them returned calls. So, I think it's a win-win for everyone.
I think it really is reasonable to do this, and it's not I don't think we're really being abusive in asking this. It's a good thing for the developer to go ahead and see, exactly what they're gonna be faced with. And, as we talked about too, as they do this work, it does add to the value of the property because they're gonna be looking at what they're doing, and they've got a document that'll help them plan if they're, anywhere in a near-term situation. So I think it's a reasonable thing.
I think it's a good idea. So, we have any further discussion on this? Any discussion from the public?
My only question is, like Suzanne said, if it's gonna save them money in the long run, up in front or at the end, maybe that'll give them a little more leeway when you guys say, okay, can we mix with the density a little? Because if they're able to use the trees that are on site, put them in there, that'll save them money on the back end to have them redo, putting another 100 trees on the property because they had to take it down to level it out just to rebuild. And I don't understand construction costs, I know it's money, but that would be just the only question. If it saves them money, push it up front. Hey, we could save this. We're Tree City, aren't we? 19 years.
Yeah.
Rather save a tree than have to,
Replace one.
replace one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hear a motion.
I'd like to submit the Land Development Regulation Text Amendment STX 24-2 be approved. That's
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Our last item on the agenda is item 7B. This is a corrective final subdivision plat, SUB 24-33. Again, we discussed this at this morning's workshop. This plat has already been approved by Planning Commission at their August 2024 meeting. However, there is a naming conflict with Harmony Court, this little cul-de-sac. It was originally named Harmony Court, so we are reapproving hoping to reapprove this plat for re-recording to change the name to Alcove Court, as there is a Harmony Lane already within the city limits. Nothing else is changing. It's still 62 single-family residential lots. It's still under a financial guarantee of 1.2 million, and staff has no comments.
This is really a formality.
Running out of street names.
Street names are run out of,
Run out
for
of.
sure.
We're running out of street names.
Start a new language.
We got Roller Coaster Lane, though.
We do tilt-a-whirl.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any further comments? Comments from the public? Okay, then I'm going to call for a vote, or a motion, I'm sorry. Motion. Keep
I
jumping.
move that we approve the corrective major bonded final plat of subdivision SUB 2433 as submitted.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Unanimous. Okay. Guess that's it? Do we have any general comments from the public? No. No, everybody's shaking their head.
Not today.
Okay, we did a good job tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Which one said that?
Second.
Bellamy made that motion.
And second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. People, we are adjourned.